I'm about to show you an example of how everything can go wrong when you cook, but you keep on cooking. If you like the content, like, subscribe, help me grow the channel. Later. All right, this is our brisket. So it's the first time I'm doing this, but I've been wanting to do it. So we're gonna actually cut this thing up, grind it into basically ground beef. Been wanting to make some brisket burgers. I've been seeing those quite a bit online, on YouTube or whatever. So there's not gonna be any big time trimming. So it looks like they trimmed this decal already. This is from Wild Fork. This is who I get pretty much all of my, well, most of my prime meat from. And with the decal already gone, we're probably gonna be looking somewhere around a 80-20 for meat to fat ratio, which isn't bad. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start carving this bad boy up into pieces that will fit into my grinder. It kind of hurts to do this because it says a prime brisket, but it's gonna be good once we cut it into burgers. So that's the plan. I think that these little strips that I'm making, I'm hoping that they will just feed right into, I have the, I think it's a 1/2 horsepower meat your maker. If these won't fit, then I'll just cut them again, but we're gonna give it a shot. So I will check back in once I have this whole brisket sliced up, and we're gonna start grinding. All right, I just about got it all cut up. I think just last night my wife asked me, what's the big deal about prime meat? What makes it so expensive? All this white in between the meat is all the intramuscular fat. This is actually the fatty end of the brisket. So that's why, to me, this is the best part of the brisket, because most times it's the juiciest with all this extra fat. Look at there. That's looks pretty damn good. All right, so I'm thinking these will fit through the chute. So let me get the grinder and we're gonna get started. Well, the blade just broke on my meat your maker, so that's why I got this pink KitchenAid here. This is my wife's KitchenAid. I don't want this meat to go to waste, so I'm gonna see if I can grind it on a KitchenAid. So far, so good. Well, this KitchenAid is doing a pretty okay job so far. That's all I got right now, so we gotta roll with it. Oh. It's bogging down, but it's doing the job. There's one thing I always say about barbecue. I'm not gonna say never, but there will be times when things don't go as planned. So my meter, the blade broke. It just snapped in two. I'll show you. It's right here. Look at that. It snapped. Probably was a user error. I'm not gonna say it was their fault. It could have been a user error, but yeah, it broke. And hopefully my wife don't kill me. But this little cute little pink KitchenAid just ground up 13 pounds of brisket. So I'm about to send it through the ground the second time with a smaller blade, the smaller die. And it'll be ready for burgers. So give me a second. All right, so I got this maybe like a 3 millimeter. I'm going crazy. It's been a stressful day. So now I'm gonna go to a smaller grind, and that's what our final grind will be for whether we use it for burgers or who knows, spaghetti, whatever, it don't matter. All right, so let's see if we can get this thing put back together. And this thing is turning out to be the little meat grinder that could. Let's see, where's the little notch? So I will say that I do see the quality from, oh, it's down here. The quality from Meet Your Maker after trying to put this thing together and take it apart. But this one is working, so I ain't gonna talk too much trash. I got 13 more pounds of brisket to grind again, so let's get it. So this one is going a lot easier than the other one. When I was doing the first grind, I thought it was going to blow up, but it didn't. Alright, so let me get this all ground up, and I will check back in with you guys here in a second when it's time to put some burgers together. Man, this little KitchenAid knocked it out. It was a lot of work because I'm sure it's nowhere near as powerful as the Meet Your Maker, but it is a definite good backup. Ain't nothing glamorous about grinding meat and grinding sausage. So next time you see your butcher, kiss him in the mouth, because I just got to work out. So now I'm about to put this meat in the refrigerator while I clean this big old mess, because the queen gonna be walking through this door in a minute. I don't want y'all to see me get bashed in the head, so I'll check in a minute once I get all this mess cleaned up. All right, I cleaned up the big old mess, but the ground brisket was hanging out in the refrigerator. So I'm just gonna weigh out a pound for burgers today. And the rest I'm going to use the food saver and, you know, and freeze it until we need it. That's a little slightly over a pound, so that'll work. So let's go ahead and hit it with my burger seasoning. Mix that up. I'm a fan of seasoning my burgers beforehand. I see a lot of people just throw the meat on and season it while it's on there, but I like my flavor to be throughout the whole burger, every bite, every time. So that's why I season my burgers beforehand. So let's zero this out. All right, so we're gonna measure out 2 half-pound burgers. Let's see where we at. That's a little over. That's close enough. That's one. We'll get another wax sheet and see where this one lands at. I know it was a little bit over on the pound, so there we go. They came out perfectly even. All right, so I got my little burger smasher here. Just sit that on there. Set a piece of wax paper. I'll take one of these gloves off. You can see that? Yeah, you can see that. Push that down, pass it around. Ugh. Smashed. Look at that. Perfect burger. All right, let's get the other one on here. Wax paper. Push it down. Smash. And what do you know? Another perfect burger. So I'm gonna go ahead and vacuum seal the rest of this brisket, and I will check back in when we get to the smoker. Right, here is the ground brisket. As a tip, when I'm food saving ground beef or anything like that, I get it flat before I put it in the freezer. It freezes better and holds better. All right. Yeah. And don't forget to label them so you know it's the ground brisket and not the ground beef. Whew. So, I just realized the other day that I got over 500 subscribers, and I would like to say thank you. I hope you guys appreciate these videos. It's a lot of work that goes into it, but hey, thank you, and I'm gonna keep on pumping them. We will be at the smoker soon. All right, it's finally time to get Shirley fired up for these smoked burgers. It has been it's been a day, but hey, I'm having fun, so that's all that matters. Let me sit you right here. Get these doors opened up. And get the stack open. Oh, the stack's already open. All right, so let's fire it up. Sorry, I had to open this top door. Didn't do that. So we're gonna let that roll, see where she settles at. It don't need to be too hot. I'm just doing burgers. I'm gonna smoke them to about 125 and then sear them off on the PK. So, all right, I'll check that in a minute. All right, it's been 15 minutes with the doors open, so I'm gonna start shutting everything down and see where this first setup of logs get us. Let's see. Okay, got a good fire. So I'm thinking it's gonna get us up to about at least 275. All right. Whew. So everything is shut down. Let's see where she settles at. And as soon as I put the burgers on, I'm gonna fire up the PK and get that ready to cook the bacon and to sear off the burgers. Later. All right. So it looks like the wood only got us to 200, but I know that there's enough wood to get past 200. So let's tighten this thing up. Basically just push these logs closer together and see what kind of heat we get from that. So I just push the top ones together, push the bottom ones closer together, and we'll see what we get with the same logs in different positions. Ouch. All right, so we'll see where that gets us. And if we got to put more in, I would rather put more in on knowing that we already tightened up the fire. Shout out to Mike Brown Barbecue for that term. I'll be back. It's only been 1 minute since I pushed that fire together. And we've already gone up 25 degrees. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these burgers on. Instead of climbing, I'd rather just get them on now than get to a good temperature and then gotta open the door. So why not do it while it's climbing? Oh, don't break up on me, burger. There we go. There. Oh, y'all probably thinking this big old smoker and these little bitty burgers. I could use other grills, but hey, I'm so in love with this Shirley, I'll fire it up just for burgers. And we put the other one right there. I know I got a probe somewhere in here. Where is it? There we go. But let's probe one, because I want to pull them at 125, and then we're going to sear them on the PK. Later. All right, let's get the PK going. Because it usually takes me about 30 minutes to cook down, to burn down this first batch of charcoal in the chimney. So we'll let that roll for 30 minutes. And in 30 minutes, we'll dump that out and check on the burgers. So PK is fired up. Well, got sidetracked, had a phone call I had to take. So there will be no searing of these burgers. We're just gonna throw some cheese on them and call it a day. You got it? What are you trying to hide? But they look good. Alright, so I'm gonna give these a couple of minutes to melt the cheese. I'm just gonna do the bacon right here on the PK since I got sidetracked, so you know, it happens. You know, things happen. Actually, it was work that called. So we will not be searing these burgers. We're just gonna have them fully smoked, and that's it. So there we go. This one is done. So instead of searing, it's got totally smoked. This day can't get any crazier. In the middle of that video, my brother called and it stopped the recording. So something is telling me this is not the day to be recording YouTube videos, but we're gonna do it anyway. So let's get some bacon. Got some thick cut bacon. Since I already fired up the PK, I'll at least do some bacon on here so we have some for the burgers, since we're not searing burgers. I flipped over my grill grates we're gonna use them that way. Cook up some bacon. All right, I'll be back. Man, it is smoky out here. I don't mind a little smoke. So we got our bacon going. It ain't gonna take long, cause them grates are super hot. Let's give it a flip here. Ooh, yeah. We're getting some fire. So we need to move these over. There we go. We will move them over here. Yeah, they completely jacked me up with their phone call. But it's okay. It's alright. It's going. Man, this is hard to ever work for a burger in my life. But ground up 12 pounds of brisket, smoked it up. Work call. I started the video, my brother called. But hey, we still got a burger. Burn up the bacon because my phone was ringing. There we go. We got a burger. Are you happy now? Later.